Good morning and happy new month. This is Bissong, the founder of Wise Men. From my house, my family house in Akure, I want to give out this new month message to all people who follow me or who listen, to the tenets of Wise Men, all those who are members of the community, and all those who just love life so beautifully, want to live life and enjoy life so beautifully. What message do I have for August? August is a special month. Right now is the 10th month. And there's something about August. In case you want to see the cocks that are crowing, look at this one. We'll call him James. James the cock. Hey, Jamie. Okay, it's not answering. Let's get into what the talk is about. You don't have to be anything. I think one of the main reasons why we suffer is the thought that you have to be something, or you have to be something very specific. Yesterday I was having a discussion with a friend, and for some of you who follow me, my status on WhatsApp, you saw the discussion on religion and some other things. And so we're talking about religion. First of all, you tried to fit me into a box, by calling me Christian. Basically, I believe in Christ. I go with a lot of things that it does. I agree with a lot of the messages, but Christianity is a summary. When you use the word Christianity, there are certain religious practices that will say this is what we understand as Christianity, as mainstream Christianity. It's different from just personal followership of Christ. It is a body and a system. So then at some time he said, you're agnostic. I said, bros, calm down. Don't put me in a bracket. People like to label you, like to put you in a bracket, like to summarize your essence. Sometimes summary does not, totally work. You don't need to be anything. You do not need to accept binary ideas that you are either this or you are that. You need to find truth for yourself and only ascribe belief to those things that you truly are found to be true. Like anything you have not found to be true, there is no need to ascribe belief to it. Belief is a very strong thing. And there's something you truly believe and there's something you have been asked to believe. And for most people that subscribe to a religion, there are a lot of things you are asked to believe. Many things you have not interrogated yourself. Many things you have not had a personal experience of. So if you cannot have a personal judgment on a particular thing, how can you possibly say you believe that thing and be true to yourself that you actually believe, that thing? So these are some of the things. Another thing is you have to understand that a lot of things don't matter. And at the end of the day, all of us have to pick the things that matter and not give a fuck about a lot of things. And when you live life from this perspective, you find out that there are a host of things to not give a fuck about. A host of things to not give a flying hoot about. A lot of things. So we create the things that, bug us, the things that affect us. We create certain desires that affect us. Because recently when I stopped certain teachings on Wise Men, in our community, we had to reduce some certain kinds of ideas and start promoting other ones, especially when it came to women getting and all of that stuff. One of the first things I had to look at was the idea of, pick-up artistry, PUA. Men created desire to always, get every woman they see. It's a desire that has been watered by influence, basically. Maybe porn, and this idea that you are not a man if you cannot, pick up girls, so to speak. You're a coward, and then you find yourself in a situation whereby you feel like there's this subtle anxiety when you see beautiful women. You feel like, if I cannot get this girl, then you feel bad about yourself. Rejection becomes so difficult. It becomes so heavy on you. You feel like you have not practiced your skill. Now, all of those things were things I knew that I had to shake off. I had to tell guys, I say, hey, there's no need for you to first of all have this anxiety, have this beating down on yourself because you have not devoted time to this thing. Because it's not even a necessary desire. You see, we copy other people's desires and make them our own. Some of us just really want something so simple or something so easy. But then the desires of others, we have copied it and pasted it into our lives. And now we desire those things too. Do you really desire those things? You see, one of the best ways to really know the things you truly desire and to know if it's something that is really worthwhile is to ask yourself, if I was going to die in the next few hours, would these things matter? When the person is sick, the only thing that matters is for the person to get well. Every other thing he has been chasing just seems to pause. Wow. So you see, many things don't really matter as much as we have given them credence, or we have given them the opportunity to matter. So a lot of things wouldn't matter if you didn't give it, the kind of opportunity that it has, to matter. And that is just, the plain truth. So you have to understand that nothing matters after death. And this is one thing about life for most people. Nothing matters after death. So when you're scared of death, the funny thing is that you don't even feel death. When you die, you don't feel it. If you are feeling pain, it means you are still alive. So death means you don't feel pain. So scared of death is funny. But it has been planted in us because, we're enjoying life, we're seeing life, and we feel like to preserve this life, we have to, this self-preservation thing is deeply ingrained in us. But it's really funny because if you are feeling pain, if it's going to pain you, then that means you're not going to die. If you die, then it doesn't matter. You don't feel it. None of these things matter. All the plans that we have for life doesn't matter by the time you die. So I believe that one principle for August is, in July I said let us do a reassessment of our mental space, our spiritual space, and get them, clear your mind, into the new month. And in this new month, one thing I want us to do is, beyond clearing your mind, is remembering that many things don't really matter on your deathbed. Many things don't really matter even after death. And death can happen anytime. So it means you're supposed to be living life like it's your life. So a lot of opinions of many people do not really matter. A lot of things that we do not really matter. So I just feel that when it comes to the art of not giving a fuck, we have to take it very seriously. You have to not give a fuck about a lot of people, a lot of things that a lot of people would feel, a lot of things that a lot of people would think. You need to find truth within yourself. And as long as you have found that truth and the truth doesn't bother you, as long as what you know to be true is true to yourself, you are not fighting a conflict in your mind. Usually, many of the conflicts we won't fight in our minds is because of indoctrination over time, conditioning over time. We have learned this over time that have made us to feel like certain things are good or certain things are bad. And when we hold a mindset or a thinking about certain things, we quickly want to throw it away. We want to drop it because, for example, anytime I say, I don't really believe everything that is written in the Bible, because I believe that the Bible was created by humans. It's not like God came down and created the Bible. So it's very possible that the Bible contains agendas of a certain religion. So if you come out and say, my religion is the one true religion, and I say, where is the proof? And you show me the Bible, a book written by your religion, to prove to you that your religion is the true religion. It's funny. So when I ask the person, I say, what makes you think Christianity is the true religion? I says, the Bible says so. I was like, I don't understand. Your religion is true because the book that your religion wrote says that it is true. I mean, okay, I'm the king of Arabia. Are you the king of Arabia? My book says so. So you cannot argue against me, because in my book I wrote that I'm the king of Arabia. It's just like when people say I identify as a woman. That is exactly what it sounds like. You know? So, but usually when I say that, I feel a kind of fear. Like, am I not criticizing, are you sure I will still go to heaven? Are you sure God will not punish me for this thing that I'm doing now, or this thing that I'm saying? Because it's a conditioning. I have gone through life, learning these things, and it has formed a big part of me to be scared to criticize these ideas. So many times when you try to not give a fuck about certain things, there's a conflict in your mind, because you already have spent years of your life giving a fuck about that thing. And it's scary, because those things were imputed in you with a fear background, like a fear addition. They have to add fear to it to make it strong in your mind. Many of the things you believe, you believe them because of the fear of the consequences of not believing them. That is the truth. You believe certain things because of the fear of the consequences. What can possibly happen to me in a situation where I do not believe these things? And that is usually the case with a lot of people, really. A lot of people is the case with a lot of people. What will happen to me if I don't believe this thing? And I want you to drop that this time around. I want you to have, drink from the elixir of life, and let your approach to this thing be very life-giving. So do not do anything from the perspective of fear. Do it from the perspective of what you want, because they say there are two ways people approach success. One person approaches it from the fear of failure, another person approaches it from the desire to succeed. They're two different things: desire to succeed and the fear of failure. People say the fear of failure can motivate you to succeed, but the truth is that the fear of failure, the fear of failure it can also limit you, because you're scared to fail, or you are scared of the consequences of not getting things right. Then you also don't get to do anything. So there are a lot of times you want to make a decision very quickly, but you're scared of the aftermath of the decision. So then you think it for months, because you don't want to fail. So your desire for success has to cloud, or cover up your desire for your fear of failure, so that then you're no longer limited. You can easily move on. You can easily do certain things. So I think that is what August should be for. August should be the time where you learn the subtle art of not giving a fuck. But now, what is the subtle art of not giving a fuck? It's not like you don't give a fuck about anything. There are things you need to give a fuck about. There are things in life that have been given to you for free, but have to be nurtured and taken care of. Family, good friends. These are the things that make your time and your stay on this earth as beautiful as possible. If we have established the fact that you could die anytime, it means that our stay here has to be beautiful. Only prioritize the things that make your stay here beautiful. And sometimes it is not even what you think. It is not maybe partying, or maybe drugs, or alcohol, or even sex. A lot of the things that make your life so beautiful are things like, family, love, things you believe in, things that drive you, things that make you to wake up early in the morning and put on your camera and start talking instead of sleeping. There's still in my eyes. I just wash my face when I can't talk. So the things that drive you, the things that make you want to show up every day, those things are the things you should give a fuck about. But trust me, those things have to be things that you choose. So you choose what to give a fuck about, and then discard the rest. See, this throw away the rest. The rest does not exist, it does not matter. Throw it away. So you have to calmly pick for yourself truth, because you see, all you're looking for is within you. See, I think it was Asha that was saying, open the mind of your eyes, your ears and mouth. I said, yeah, my son said, you don't have to climb the highest mountain, for what you're looking for is within you. Jesus Christ said the same thing. He says, the law of God is going to be written in your heart. I think Moses said so, Jesus said so. Everybody is pointing to where God is, and it is here. Everybody is pointing to where the truth is, and it is here. It is not far away. It is not on one mountain. It is not, in one religion. It is not on one mountain. It's not anywhere. It is here. You see, all the people who have ever spoken through philosophies and through teachings, who have actually led lives which are beautiful and worthy of emulation, have always reminded us it is here. It is here. So in the month of August, make sure that it is here. That this should become your own mental point of origin. Let nobody, decide what you believe for you. You decide what it is that you believe. You look at it and say, this thing, I've judged it well enough to invest belief in it. You see, belief is based out of conviction, not just blind faith. There are two ways. Yes, there's blind faith, then there's conviction. Conviction is you have seen certain things that makes you convinced enough to drop, your trust in this entity or in this way of life or in this person. Without that, then it's just blindness, And yes, of course, many people encourage blind faith because it's very easy for you to perpetuate anything you want to perpetuate in the presence of blind faith. So I believe belief is a strong thing. Belief is more powerful than whatever is true. You say, this is true, this is true, this is true. Anything I believe to be true is more powerful than anything that is true, because perception is more real than reality. That's one thing you should know. Perception is more real than reality. So before you come, to accepting something as a thing you want to believe, you have to test it to be true. You have to see, it has to be based on a personal experience. And that's why I always say something. I say, yes, I follow Jesus, I follow his teachings, and I believe in him based on my conviction on the things he has said. But at the same time, I do not pity. I do not feel bad. I do not feel a strong need to, convert other people who are also believing whatever they believe. Because I believe that if it is good for you, then it is good for you. We are all different human beings, all different revelations from God, all different ways we approach, understanding of our Creator, and different ways we attune to spirituality. I've listened to a lot of teachers, and I find one or two places where I disagree with them. I found places where they all align, places where I align with them. So that's how you really need to approach things. Approach things from the higher perspective of consciousness. See yourself as a God, because you are created to be. Look at all the religions point to you being a God. Even Christianity, from the Old Testament, talks about God creating you in his own image. It means you are him, man. You're him. That means in the highest actualization of self, you will be God. So put all of those things into perspective. A lot of things do not matter that you think matters. Take them, shake them. You see, an unexamined life is not worth living. You have to check this life, test yourself, to see what should carry me, what is the main thing, what are the things that I should truly believe, what are the things I should truly owe to be. And by the time you have done that, by the time you have tested yourself, by the time you have looked to yourself and you have told yourself that many of the things that even matter to me right now will not matter by the time I'm gone, how can I live this life like the last day on earth? By the time you have that known, by the time you have that tested, you will start thinking legacy. See, when I'm gone from here, the people after me, my children coming after me, what are the things that I'm leaving down for them that they should know? Let it be, first of all, a good name. Yes, of course, money and all of those things are part of it, but let it be, first of all, the knowledge that you lived a life true to yourself. Stay wise.